When you're using past progressive continuous or any progressive tense, remember that progressive tenses are not used with non-action verbs. So that he had been pondering marriage. This is an action verb. So that's how I can use the progressive. And he had known. Here I'm using the past perfect and not the past perfect progressive because this is a non-action verb. I don't normally say he had been knowing. It's not something I say because know is a non-action verb that we don't use with the progressive tenses. Okay, moving on to the future in the past, which is something that I think your book presents it in kind of a confusing way, and I'm going to think of it as indirect speech. I think that's a much easier way to think about what's going on here. He knows that he is going to marry soon. Okay, is present tense, but when I change it to the past tense, I say he knew that he was going to marry soon because the indirect speech has to match the reporting verb here, the tense of the reporting verb. Okay. Present tense, he knows when the wedding will be, but when you go to the past tense, you can say he knew when the wedding would be. Would be and was going to mean the same thing. You could also say he knew when the wedding was going to be. And here I'm going into the was going to or would in order to match the past tense reporting verb. Here's a present tense. He isn't sure who his bride will be. If I go to the past tense with it, I say he wasn't sure who his bride would be. Or present tense, neither Weinlich nor Rinze knows who will ultimately be chosen. When I change that reporting verb to the past tense, I have to say neither Weinlich nor Rinze knew who would ultimately be chosen. Here we see it on the chart where I say something like, neither Weinlich nor Rinze knew, here's the simple past, who would be chosen, goes into the future inside the past. Now when I'm talking, the bride was chosen and the whole thing is in the past. But here's the reporting verb knew, and the would is something that happened after the person knew, but still before the present time when I'm speaking.